Da-da-da.
Howdy. Welcome to this week's episode of Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. I'm your host, Biko the Bearded One. You can call me JT for short. Today I'm joined by, of course, Alex the Jarl Martinez, his bouginess. Al.
Yeah.
And we have our first guest on the podcast who will be a reoccurring guest in the podcast. This is Ryan, or Doc Sim, for all of those who don't know him. Howdy. How's it going, Ryan?
Howdy. It's going well.
Nice. So, Doc is a member of the Bearded Viking Mead Company, and we have known each other for 20 years this year. Well, 21 years.
Love you long time, baby.
Yeah.
You guys are old.
Yeah, you
Oh,
keep saying that.
I don't
even
know.
think
I don't know why I have to keep dyeing this to make it look cool. I mean, if I was that old, it would think just do it on its own. But
Did you look like Steven Seagal from the movie where he's on the ship? What is it? Not Fire Down Below. Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Under Siege. You're like
But
the
with a beard.
combat cook, dude.
no,
With a
just-
beard.
When's the girl gonna come out of the cake then?
Exactly. She's still passed out. We gotta wait for her.
Yeah, we got to wake her up. Yeah, she's got time.
She
got
got
time.
gassed. She got
Yeah,
gassed with the rest of
yeah.
the crew.
As long as
So-
there's a girl coming out of a cake, I'm in.
A little backstory on Doc. So, we are part of the OG invasion in Iraq together. You were corpsman.
I am
And,
a Corpsman.
Yeah. And, yeah, just tell us a little bit about
Did
yourself. I'm not gonna tell them.
16 years with the Navy. I did 9 years on the blue side, which is the stands for the. No, I won't say the boring blue side. The blue side was fun. I had a good time with the blue side until I didn't. And then my Master Chief kept jumping at me to be over on the green side. And after I got my nursing degree and was done with school and clinicals and stuff, so I was like bored with the blue side Navy. One weekend he happened to be there, and he's like, Ryan, when am I going to get you out on my crew? And I'm like, tomorrow's good for me, Master Chief. And he's like, stay right here. 5 minutes later, he had me sign a chit that I was back on. I was in the blue side, or I was on the green side. So
Nice.
I did 7
That's
years with the
epic.
green side Navy. Yeah. It was
Super
good
cool.
times. Yeah.
So,
Shit doesn't happen like that nowadays.
well, I mean, yeah, like you have to like trade and barter your children for
Yeah.
movement in the military, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of those internal recruiters, the ones who are like your auditor or whatever, they'd be like, hey, top 3 places you want to go, and you're like, Okinawa, Hawaii, or Pendleton, and they're like, did you say 29 Palms?
Did you
That's
say-
right.
Going to the
Oh.
Palms.
Oh, okay. 29
Pendleton,
Cool.
that's so close to 29 Palms. You're welcome.
Yeah, here you
It's
go.
just a short drive
It's just
away.
it's just a
Dude,
little bit of a drive.
It's right next to the Salton Sea. You're
Yep.
welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You want the sea? You got the sea, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
God forbid it's like 10 times the saltiness of the ocean, and there's not a living fucking thing within 100 miles. Good luck.
Yeah. No, there's a whole bunch of fucking turtles
It sounds like
and skinwalkers.
JT's house. He's 10 times the saltiness of the sea, and there's nothing around him for 10 miles.
Well, that's fine with me. There's a whole bunch of trees. Sometimes we put up elk.
Oh, the
pop-ups.
wind breaks. The
Right.
wind
Yeah,
breaks. Is what
those
it
are
is.
coming up. They're
Yeah.
growing in.
No,
They're
I
growing
believe
in.
you. Yeah.
Are there skinwalkers aside from that one guy in the basement?
Only Afghani skin vipers. Oh wait, sorry, different conversation.
Oh. Skin vipers. Wow.
Allah.
Yeah, we went there.
Holy
Uh,
shit. It's still early.
It's still early. Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody, by the way. Do you all have your drinks? What are you drinking
Oh
today?
yeah.
Al?
I am going with the classic G&T that I accidentally mixed too strong for the second time.
Ooh,
I did
I
not
think
learn my
that
lesson.
sounds like a pattern.
It's
Yeah.
not very Irish, but it is Friday. That's
And you
why
are?
we have the shades on.
yeah.
And all I have to do is baseball practice today for the kids. So I'm
Hey.
that coach.
Yeah, fair enough. And Ryan, what do you got?
I got a whiskey Coke.
Huh?
I'm just kind of being tame for the afternoon. I'll get my drink on in a little bit. The only green beer would be like the urine that comes out of me because I haven't had enough antibiotics in the month.
That's pretty gross.
The only green beer I'm gonna drink is Jameson.
The beer that I've got is a solid Guinness. So interesting fact. I was just telling Al about this. Until this glass of Guinness, I was never a big fan of it. But
Like
apparently,
this moment.
this very moment, yeah.
This is
Actually, I'm fully
fantastic.
enjoying this.
Yeah,
This
I
is-
love Guinness. Like you can't only have like 2 or 3, and you're just like, whoa, you feel like you ate like a 3-course meal. But
Done.
1 or 2 is a sweet spot, baby.
Liquid carbs are my favorite carbs.
Oh, yummy.
It's like
Yeah.
a lady boy that all of a sudden fully matures into a lady. Oh wait,
Wait, huh?
I'm so fucking confused right now.
He just had a flashback behind
And
those shades, bro.
and on that moment, and on that note, because we're talking about terrible things, what is your favorite paranormal experience there, Ryan? Your favorite, not experience, but your favorite kind of paranormal? Is it ghosts? Is it Bigfoot? What's your favorite thing that
Goblins,
kind of goblin? Yeah,
skin
goblins.
vipers.
I
Yeah.
think if I was gonna have to choose a favorite paranormal, something that would be like, I think ghosts would be it. I think that the rest of it's all real. Ghosts not necessarily aren't real, but I don't know. It's hard to conceptualize ghosts, and you've had that one or two experiences where one flashes in front of you here and there, but uh, I think that's the most fun.
Way
So
too many.
what's your spookiest ghost story then? What's
Yeah,
your
tell us the
ghost
story.
encounter?
It's
I know. I
daylight.
mean,
There's
yeah.
daylight outside.
Come on, dude. They can't see you anyway behind those shades.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
bro.
you can't
You
follow
got.
my eyes
I
to see
believe
if I'm
those are
Uh-uh.
looking. Am I looking
those,
up left to make something
Yeah.
up, or am I
those are
looking
your
straight ahead
Yeah.
for
Eyes are
real?
right here,
Yeah,
big guy.
those
right.
are your
Yeah.
specter blockers. They're like hater blockers.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have too many ghost stories. I do have when Natasha and I were first dating, I would get when I was in my other house, not the house we're currently in. Um, I would get this like middle of the night, like some lady screaming in my face, and my room would be ice cold. Like just for real, like I'm not even making this up. And I was like, oh my God, like totally like just a scream in my face. The room's ice cold. And it was just like, wow, wow. And then she'd go away.
So I'm not the only one, dude.
With the screamer?
So
Yeah.
With a
yeah, dude.
screamer.
It's for
Yeah,
real, dude. If you
I wish it was that kind of screamer, but no.
No, it happened to me too. I don't know if you've listened to the last podcast or two, but we talked about this, the screaming ghost when I was in Okinawa. It
Oh,
used to
no.
happen to me in Okinawa. She'd get up, like you could like feel the
Yep.
breath
Yep.
and just full fucking bored. And you're like, I don't want to open my eyes because if I open my eyes, I'm gonna see something. So I'm just gonna pretend like I'm still asleep.
Right. So fast
Now
forward
it's now it's something, yeah.
yeah. So fast forward like a year and a half when Natasha and I are actually living together and we purchased this house that we're currently in. We get into the neighborhood and she gets invited to go to a wine drinking night with the ladies of the neighborhood at this particular gal's house down the way. And she comes back a few hours later. I'm like, hey, so how was the wine night? She's like, oh, it was super fun, but super weird. I'm like, yeah, do tell. So she proceeds to tell me about the palm reading that this gal does and whatnot. And she's like, oh, I see you have a protector. And Natasha's like, hmm? She's like, you have a protector. You have like a lady, you have someone who's a protector over you. And she is not fond of your boyfriend, I guess. And so she tells me this, and I'm like, and I've never told her about the lady screaming in my face in the middle of the night with the room ice cold and whatnot. And so I'm like, all right, that just got super fucking weird. Like that gives me chills now, even still. I'm like, that's just fucking wild,
That's
super weird.
terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you make
But
peace with her?
apparently, I've been a good guy or something, and now I'm okay because we haven't had any contacts, knock on wood, in a while.
That's
So
that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
So when people ask me, when we've had discussions over campfires and stuff like that with paranormal stuff, and if I believe in ghosts or, there's an interim or someplace like that. But so yeah, it's not something I go and seek out, and I'm not gonna sit and say, oh, I want to. Oh, so here's another somebody. Natasha hates that I snore, and I mentioned it to somebody, and they're like, hey, you should film yourself while you sleep, and I'm like, how about not only no, fuck no.
Hell no.
Hell
I
no.
saw that fucking movie. I do not want that shit coming around my house.
Uh-uh.
Paranormal
I don't
activity.
I don't want it to know that I know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
There's not
as
one.
as excited as I am to be on the podcast, that's about how excited ghosts get when you like put a fucking camera on at night to film yourself. They're like, "Holy Jesus, I can't believe he finally did it. Watch this. I'm gonna fucking teabag him right on his own camera." Yeah, no.
It's
Dude,
the
I
Joe
would
Coy, dude. I'm telling you, it's the
fucking,
Joe Coy.
dude, I would fucking give money to watch you get teabagged by a ghost.
I bet
Just
you would.
absolutely would love it.
I would
Okay.
pay
You
for
wake
that.
up and your
Yeah.
beard's all moist, and I'm like, "What the fuck? I
Yeah.
must have
And
slobbered all night. Maybe I
it
ate a
was
spider or
it
something."
was the humidity. It was humid in
Yeah,
Utah. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So
Uh
yeah, no,
what
no
is
ghosts.
the paranormal thing that makes you laugh that you're like absolutely fuck off. That's stupid. What is the thing?
It's got to be Sasquatch.
Fuck you.
No, it's the Jax Link commercial about the Sasquatch. That shit I fucking laugh every time I see that. Love that commercial.
So let me just rephrase because you're sidestepping this like you're
No, no,
Neo in the Matrix. So mine is the chupacabra because I think that shit's fucking hilarious to me. Like if I saw a chupacabra, I would fucking laugh myself to death. Like
those
it
are those
wouldn't
little
eat
pot
me.
guts, right?
So it would something. It I don't know. In my mind, a chupacabra. So it supposedly look like a fucking half dog, half whatever. Blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Right. In my mind, if I see that, I'm like, oh, you fucking little guy. Let me help you out with this 45. Boom. Blah.
So
Dead.
speaking of, that if you want to, if you the funniest thing for me, and being today what it is, the leprechaun would be the thing for me that would be most funny. I think a little dude running around trying to show off his pot of gold, I would certainly follow, and I think that's probably the most funny thing about it would be, I would be like a little schoolgirl, be like, "Ooh, look at him, he's so cute. Where's the gold?"
Where's the gold, motherfucker? Okay. I think it'd be funny because I think we were talking about this the other day, and you brought something up, and I think probably a leprechaun is going to be like the second funniest thing to me at this point. Um, because they bounce, they're bouncy motherfuckers. They're like Tigger.
They got to, right?
Yeah,
Tigger.
And like,
Well, yeah,
what
because
if
if you catch them, they owe you the pot of gold, right?
I don't
yeah.
know?
I mean, do they? Because
Is
like,
that
Is
is that what the saying is?
isn't that the folklore? Isn't that you catch the leprechaun and you get his pot of gold?
I thought you just got to fucking go to the end of the rainbow and snatch that motherfucking shit, and you got 3 wishes. I don't know. Maybe.
I thought you had to get away with it.
I think
Yeah.
that's the genie in the bottle. I don't know. Maybe
I'm gonna rub it the right way.
maybe
Ooh,
listeners.
baby.
Ooh, wait,
Mad
I
shout out
need
to Christina. Please listen.
I need a moment.
Yep.
Young Aguilera.
Young Aguilera. That one
Uh,
in Slave by Britney. Man. Push. There we go. Let's go.
Oh
Uh
no.
oh, where we go. Shit, we gotta we're rocking back to old times. Foreshadowing. Anyway, um
isn't
so
that thing you get cut off by the doctor?
no, that's a skin viper.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
You have to foreshadowing and skin vipers go hand in hand.
Oh, there he went.
Yeah.
He
I
did
was
it
gonna say.
again. Oops, I did it again. Oop.
There we go. Perfect. Got some dreamery updates. So for everybody who's listening, we are coming into the springtime, and because the meter is taking over a year to get built and all
Yeah.
the fucking everything else, we've decided to call it the Dreamery.
Yeah. Coming soon to a palm near you.
Absolutely. So current updates: we have a building permit. We have a plumber who is starting work in 2 weeks, maybe 3, depending on freezingness. We have an HVAC guy, and we have 3 or 4 contractors that are kind of coming at this and trying to help us out. So as well as an electrician. So that's awesome.
Sweet.
Our application is officially submitted. We have a couple documents we got to update.
Again.
Yep.
Super, super exciting.
Officially verified that it's submitted. Let's not go down that path. It's too early to fucking be pissed.
And it's Leprechaun Day.
It's Leprechaun Day. I thought that, yeah, absolutely. So we also have some cool other updates on the podcast today. So we have to announce our winner of the hoodie.
Chicken dinner.
So coming in hot, taking first place, and overtaking all of the peoples was Amber Lukes out of California. She found out about our podcast. She's a friend of mine from like elementary school, and she just started listening, and she caught up, and she commented on like 5 videos. She liked every video. She shared the videos. She has other people listening in. So mad props to Amber. Reach out to me and let me know your hoodie size or somebody else's, because you can totally gift it. Bam. Bada bing, bada boom. And then
I don't recommend gifting the hoodie. Those things are
Yeah,
solid. They
they're
are so
velvety
warm and
as
toasty.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should definitely hang. That's a thing to hang on to. And for
It-
anyone
it's-
listening, it's definitely a thing to snag. Get one.
Yeah, before they're gone, because we don't have very much left.
Because once they're gone, they're not coming back till fall.
Yeah. That's weird.
Well,
It's
people in
weird.
California and Florida could get them sooner because, man, every time I go there, it seems like they're always cold. So
That's just their personalities.
Chilly.
chilly.
Frosty
Chilly.
as fuck. Anyway, so we do have an audible to throw too.
Yeah.
Dealer's
Drop back
choice.
to pass.
Yeah.
Audible.
Here we go.
Okay,
So
shoot the J.
here we go. So because of really kind of championing things, and then following the lead of Men's Mental Health, commenting, liking, and subscribing to everything, and sharing this message, not necessarily the podcast, but actually openly sharing the message. We are going to donate and award a hat and a Vox shirt to John Wall out of Utah.
Yeah.
Wild.
So
Big bad John.
So congrats, John. I'm not going to actually tell you that you're getting the shit until you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, you sandbagger.
Yeah, stop fucking doing it. You work in an office all day. So there's no reason that you can't do this. So I'm calling you out. I'm putting you on the on notice. So as soon as you tell me that you watch this episode and you tell me about the episode and you listen in,
There
then
better be a comment in there from John Wall.
there should be a comment from John Wall. So absolutely.
Nice.
So congrats to both Amber and John. Thanks guys for all your support. We will be doing another one of these cool giveaways starting probably April 1st. And it's going to be most epic.
Ooh,
Dun,
stay.
dun.
It might involve my favorite paranormal thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know. We'll see.
One free trip to go find Sasquatch. We're going to drop you off in the woods and fuck off.
We'll just leave you at Current Creek and you
I was
can
gonna say,
experience Squatch
yeah.
and the SKW.
Yeah. I'm in for another trip to Current Creek.
Oh,
Let's go.
fuck that place.
I'm
Never
in.
again. Fool me
Oh,
once.
From the
Shit,
guy,
It's like
Fool
the
me
Blair Witch
twice.
Project.
from the
Fuck
fucking guy who disappears whenever there's a fucking, when he's got his mic and his walkie-talkie.
Yeah. Only guy that can fucking go
Oof.
disappear. Yeah.
Seriously, I have no idea. Do you want to tell a story? Al, you should tell a story about the disappearing Ryan.
The disappearing right. Like he's the magic man, dude. Now you see him. Now you don't. He's gone.
Yeah, he goes on a
just-
walk. He starts watching moose hang out together, and we're gonna call it a hangout. You
Yeah.
know, like they're Netflixing, chilling.
They're hanging out. Yeah. Minus the
Yeah.
Netflix, just chilling.
Oh, yeah, with the baby moose go, Mom, what's
Mom,
he doing, Mom?
Mom, that's
Mom,
mine.
Mom, are you okay? What's he doing, Mom?
Mom, why are you making those noises?
So you got to tell a story. We haven't told the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, okay. So we're going hunting. We're hanging out in a meadow, and Ryan is hell-bent on walking down a trail that we walked down earlier that day and didn't see any deer or elks. And we're smoked, so JT and I are sitting in the damn clearing just waiting for the elk because we had an elk sighting in that clearing earlier that day. So we're just kind of out there, here, elky.
And for the
And-
record, the clearing was on the backside of base camp where you guys were just sitting in fucking camp chairs drinking beer, hoping to Christ that something came rolling through again.
Would you have
that
been?
not
would
be
you?
epic?
Would you not have been pissed?
How
that you
pissed
walked
off
away?
would you have been
Yeah.
that your radio wasn't working?
Oh, dude,
we were
I'm-
watching moose fuck and we were shooting elk, drinking beer.
I would have been like, I got to see moose fuck. I'm good. I'm super good.
The level
The
of voyeurism.
The voyeur in me is strong, yeah, for sure. Especially when you're out in the woods and some monster crashing starts coming down the hill, you're like, oh fuck yeah, what's going on here?
Sasquatch.
Oh, even that would have been cool, but I gotta say, the moose thing for me, I love mooses.
Like
Mooses are just,
Sasquatch
yeah,
fucking.
yeah, they're moose
Dog
are my
dick.
thing.
Dog dick for
S-
sure.
Super
Dog dick.
majestic.
Uh,
Majestic.
No, I have a black lab. I see that all the time. That's not a thing for me.
dude,
I'm
my
okay. I'm
dog
over
loves
it.
you. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, your black lab. Every time he sees me, I know that he loves me. The
Lipstick everywhere.
Oh
He
yeah, the
shows it.
rock.
Lipstick
Oh yeah, the
everywhere.
rocket comes out, and I can't get him off my leg for like 15 seconds. You have to just
Well,
stand there and be like,
yeah, you
"Hi,
can't push him
Jax."
off. It ruins
Yeah,
his confidence.
yeah. He doesn't
Oh,
understand. He's like, he just keeps trying after that. He's like, but once he gets success, like you let him there for like
He's
10
like,
seconds or so, and be like, "Okay, buddy, I love you too.
he
Thanks
just
for
goes over,
thanks for
has
the
a
love."
smoke.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh man, somebody appreciates me. He actually lets me hump his leg."
So we're sitting in our camp chairs waiting, radio check, radio check. We're hearing Ryan just fine. And then we hear a subway going through the middle of the fucking woods. And it sounds like you could hear the train on the tracks, like clanking and clacking and slamming past, right?
yep.
And then it starts smelling like freaking Axe body spray and Agua de Gio. And we're trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
And really, what
And
it was, just to interject here, just to add on to your story, is apparently in Current Creek, the spooks there, the specters there, they're actually dead people from New Jersey.
yeah, they're trying to
the,
beat the
Jer-
beat.
the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
It's the Jersey train.
Yep.
And then fucking Ryan, he stops answering in the radio. So not only are we hearing weird shit in the woods, the fucking
Now Doc's
radio stops
vanished.
working. Doc's fucking poofed into nowhere, and it's fucking getting dark. So we're like, God damn. The rule is you fucking make it back before it gets dark, right? Or
Yep.
we're coming in. So we're like, oh, he'll be out in 10 minutes. 10 minutes goes by. Ah, he'll be out in another 15 minutes.
Radio
Yeah,
check. Doc's like,
nothing.
So
well, no. Do you remember when he's like, shh, radio?
Yeah. And we're like, they fucking got him.
They
They
got him.
fucking got
They
him.
Fucking
got him.
got
They
him.
fucking
he's
got him.
dead.
He's
He's-
so dead.
He's gonna die.
Yeah, so we get like all of our brightest flashlights and go hiking up the trail like we're getting ready to fucking go into the no man's land that is that trail. And we're like, okay, 10 more minutes. Stop. Started talking to like a U.S. Marshal dude that just ended up being up there. Gave us some extra gear. He's like, just give it to my old man when you come back down. We're like, hell yeah, let's go. Get ready to start walking. And this fucking guy comes bebopping like he's back on the block down the trail. Just fucking guy.
So
We're
in my defense, I gotta say, as everyone, the darkness as they're trying to make it out where they needed flashlights. If you'll notice, we're all indoors and we're wearing shades right now because it's Shade Friday and that's fine. But when you're sitting out in the woods and it's dusk and you're still wearing shades and drinking beer, it's really not that dark to me, who normally just wears prescription glasses to see. So when you say dusk and dark, their version of dark
Oh, it was
also
after
included.
dusk.
There was no sunglasses on when I was
I can
Yeah.
walking up
almost
there.
guarantee. I mean,
You
have you
a
ever seen these
thou-
guys without sunglasses on? Come on.
You
All the time.
1,000%. Yeah.
I think my version of the story is much more believable.
I like it was like you can't drive without your headlights. It was so dark.
There's
Like
multiple
it was at
accounts.
that point.
There's multiple accounts of you and whatever obviously some sort of protector of Natasha's sucking out all of the fucking juice of
Batteries and
everything
fucking radio.
that you have.
The
Like
atmosphere around me.
you're yeah, whatever that is. It's just
He'd be
it's
right
just
fucking next to you, and your radio would be dead, and ours would be working.
yeah, and it's funny because, I'm not gonna call you
It's what I call
draining.
it's what I call sim luck. And by the use of that word is an absolute misnomer. Like the lack of luck is more to the point. But
Definitely you're not draining. Your energy is
I'm just
draining
he's
all of the
he's just recharging
Love you.
himself.
I am so big that I just require that much energy around me
Yeah,
to suck
I'm
it
gonna
all in.
start packing
Yeah.
like the whole fucking like bricks of batteries
Oh yeah,
in
the
your
Costco
pack
brick.
for you,
The
so you
Costco
can
brick.
just fucking when
Did
they
you
run
just-
out, you just redo it.
I think you just called me electrically fat.
You're not electrically skinny. That's what you're asking.
I don't even know right now.
I don't. I'm pretty sure you have a positive
I'm
and a
just gonna,
negative charge
yeah,
because those batteries get the life sucked
I'm
out of
gonna
you.
say I'm positively fat with a pH. So
Well, we can see that there,
Oh
Stephen.
yeah,
isn't that
yeah.
that's cool?
You got that good drip.
Got the
Absolutely. The good drip.
the good. Just call me the good doctor now.
I fucking love it. I love it.
Seagal.
Fucking awesome. Speaking of good drip, we should talk about some self-care.
Oh,
You
I
know, this
love
pot.
self care.
Yeah,
Yeah, talking
absolutely.
fat,
Like Texas grip.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, drip, not grip. But I mean, same,
Oh
same.
like
The good
the
grip
drip, the
too. The
drip
good
that
yeah,
grip is the Texas grip. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
the
So
drip that requires antibiotics. Is that what we're talking about?
no, I said
Those are the worst
the
ones.
good drip, dude. The good
Well,
drip.
it
Come
was a
on,
good
man.
time getting it, I guess, right?
Maybe depends.
Yeah.
There's
Uh,
still a lot of disappointment
I'm still
either
on the
way.
there
lady boy, I
usually a
guess.
lot of
Yeah.
usually a lot of
He's still in
disappointment.
Thailand.
He's lost. He's confused. So a huge part of this podcast, as we all know, is that we're advocates for men's mental health. So make sure that everybody knows that because we're not professionals, we're all fucking clinically insane probably if somebody were going to analyze us. Uh,
That's what the fucking VA doc told me. He's like,
oh,
"Have you
you're
gone to talk to anybody about this?" And I'm like,
you're like
"What?
every
No."
week on a
like,
podcast. What the fuck you talking
that's
about?
lame. You're gonna
Come on.
bottle it up for 50 years and then we'll end it violently.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So, um, with the men's mental health thing that we talk about, we are all men. We don't understand women's mental health because we're not women. We don't understand anything between. We don't pretend to do that. So, there's a couple of main things that we want to talk about today, and we're going to just highlight these, and we can talk about them right after I'm done with the highlight here. So, um, the first thing is self care. It's really important to get into that, and we'll just put a pin in that for a minute. And then number two is being a fucking man. What does that mean? And really, there's a lot of shit out there that we talk about. And I think this is a huge piece right now for the world because the world wants to say that you being a man and doing testosterone things and getting out there lifting and shooting and hunting and providing is such a toxic trait. But fuck the world. I don't give a shit about that. I don't think anybody here actually gives a shit about it, right? So we're being a fucking man is a huge piece, and then also making sure you're taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, from your perspective, Alex, if I were to ask you, the Jarl, what is being a fucking man to you?
Well, I mean, it's a lot, right? And I see like the point that, some dudes have a hard time, especially like in this day and age, just fucking getting going, right? Just getting going, getting their that push to go, that drive to go, do man shit, right?
Yeah.
And I know sometimes it hits me too. I'm like, no, I just don't want to fucking go anywhere. I just want to sit around, not do anything, right? But like, it's important to just like find something that like once the train is on the tracks, it doesn't stop. Like for me, like if I'm trying to get like my ass to the gym or do something, it's like a freaking huge scoop of like pre-workout or like a 5 hour energy. That way it's like, oh dude, the train's on the tracks, can't go back. Like I gotta
Yeah.
go. Like I gotta go pick some stuff up and put it down, or I gotta like run around the block for an hour or something, which I don't do that. But picking stuff up and putting it down,
Running?
I'm good with.
Yeah, running's not in your repertoire.
Nope, no
No,
running,
no, no.
not even from
Like I wouldn't
pace.
even run from Squatch. I would just turn around and be like, "Come on, dude, look, man dick, dog dick, let's go."
Fucking go.
But so it's just like lifting, lifting, doing sports. I mentioned like the baseball thing. I know Ryan's done the baseball thing. I've done it forever. Now my kid's getting old enough where he can play. So trying to do that stuff, be a dad, for me, it's cars too. So it's like I try and just pack a little bit of everything in, right?
Mhm.
And I've had the comment that, "Oh fuck, dude, you're scary." Like like standing in a group, it's like you look like you're just gonna go off at any second. You just got like "fuck off" on your forehead.
It's because you're holding a
But
fart in.
oh
Okay,
yeah, dude, yeah,
that must be a bearded
duh.
I get
Viking
it.
theme. I get that often.
It's
Like,
like a bearded
dude,
Viking
Yeah.
when
trait.
I first met you, you're intimidating. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, but I think it's just the drip of toxic masculinity coming off me.
Well, so real quick, I'm going to pause
Drip,
and jump
drip
in
is the
there.
word of the podcast.
So absolutely. So toxic masculinity is different than being masculine, right? It's just the difference between being a man and a fuckboy. The reality is, right? So the world
I
wants to
think
twist everything and say toxic masculinity is a thing.
I think toxic masculinity is just dudes being dudes, right? Like I don't even think it's fuckboy status, right? Because you have like your fuckboys or your dudes that are like gun bunnies and shit like that. But
Is
you
that
have,
is it like toxic shock where you stay inside too long?
dude, that's how I feel if I stay inside too long.
Facts, dude.
Is
I
I
don't.
gotta go out. I gotta go
I
outside, dude.
I got to get the fuck out. Yeah, man. I mean, and on the toxic masculinity thing, I mean, there's like many takes of it, right? But being a man is being a man, and that's what we're
Yeah,
talking about here. Like we're under a
yeah.
fucking we're under attack all the time. Like you have to understand, and the world probably doesn't get this, but we do, because we're men. We wake up, we go to work, we provide. Yeah, our spouses equally provide or provide different. They equally provide in different ways, whether it's monetarily
Yeah, it
or
doesn't.
in
Yeah,
helping the home. But
yeah,
like you still got to go fucking do man shit.
yeah. Go
Like
tear it up.
yeah, go outside, get outside, go do man shit because the world isn't going to fucking change. And my biggest problem right now with being a man is that, I'm a hunter and I'm a fisherman. And, I strive really hard to do both those things. I'm outside all the time in the summertime. Wintertime, well, it's fucking really cold. I'm still outside
It's cold.
stacking
Yeah, it's
wood,
cold,
doing
but you're
things,
still outside doing shit.
trying to
Yeah.
do shit, right? My hobby's falconry. I fly a falcon to kill things, and eat them. To make sure we know that, right? I'm just not out there mass murdering shit, right? And
Fucking
you got Doc, who, Doc, tell us a little bit about your version of being a fucking man.
yeah. What is your toxic masculinity?
Oh, just hanging out in my man station, I think.
Yeah,
Is
Is that a thing still? A man station?
like
man
No?
the
cave,
man cave,
like a man cave.
or do you call like your razor a man station?
That's a no ride
That's
man
a whole
station.
separate thing. Yeah, it's a no ride man station. Yeah.
You just sit in it and turn the radio on and like GPS on the
I turned
razors
my,
driving around the neighborhood.
yeah, I turned my Rockford Fosgate system that came with
Fuck
it
yeah.
on because, at least that's the one thing that doesn't get a fucking recall on the thing. I mean,
I love mine.
Mine's running the whole time, so it's I don't know. Yeah, don't have a problem.
but
Anyway,
as far as doing man things, I think providing's a that's a I think anybody can provide. I think the man thing is the traditional man thing of being the man being the provider, and I think that's evolved. But um, yeah, for me, man stuff is getting out, enjoying nature, taking my puppies on walks, running the dogs, being responsible for your actions and what's going on in your life, and choosing a path that's positive and trying to maintain that path as best you can and not be a douchebag along the way. Be a good human. I think being a man takes uh nowadays, when you want to talk about toxic masculinity, I think toxic masculinity is an overused term, but
I agree.
I think people that are out there, I mean, there's always been douchebags and dingbats and assholes around, right? And you can be an asshole without being a douchebag. You can have your attitude and you can have your opinions and your thoughts, but still respect other people and be a decent human. I think for the most part for me, being a man nowadays in the evolving society that we're in is just being a responsible person and being a good human.
I'd echo that.
I
The
mean,
only thing,
it's a softer approach, right?
yeah,
It's a softer approach to
to what we were
Well,
saying. I mean, but everybody has that ability to choose how they affect as a man, right?
right.
From my perspective, it's not necessarily being the provider, but as much as it is being a protector, right? Like when you go to the store
Hmm.
and somebody talks some shit to your wife when you're not around, she comes and gets you, right? Or your partner or whatever. They'll come get you, whatever it is, because the toxic masculinity only matters when they think that it matters, not our families, right? But in general. But when
Right.
it's time to do man shit and
Yeah.
there's time to be a protector, guess
There
who's
will be
stepping up?
violence. Yeah.
There,
There
yeah,
will be
th-
violence.
and it's nothing against women that women at all, because women can fucking do violence way. They're like psycho crazy when it comes to fucking doing violence,
They're
because
just, yeah, they
they're
have
just
different ways of doing
yeah,
violence. They're like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they'll come at you from a, like an an analyzed and thoughtful approach,
Right? They'll like
and just
mentally handicap you and then like shaboom, like hit you
and
with
then
something else.
yeah,
Well, I think
absolutely, right.
the DNA aspect of it, right, is that women can be protectors and
Uh,
of their children, of course. You know,
Oh yeah.
like a mama bear, right? You start threatening some cub, and here comes out all the claws and the ferocious and vicious, right? I
right.
think women are the same way in that regard, but I think that's a cultural thing too. As a society, we've long reported that women need to be softer, more sensual, and the man needs to be more strong and assertive and protective, and so I get it.
Well,
I get what you're
but
saying.
it's more than that, right? So if you go back like all the way to the like anatomically, right? You go back to hunter gatherers and ancient times. So men, we have a cardiovascular system that's developed for hunting, and that's what we have. And women, they evolved into being gatherers and bearing children, right? So that's why women's hands and feet are cold because their cardiovascular system isn't expanded as ours. It's natural, it's nature evolving over time.
My
We have
my
we have
cardiovascular system gets taxed when I try and gather and hunt from the refrigerator with the 12-ounce curlers and back to the fucking 10 yards from my couch.
I understand that now, but your feet and hands aren't cold all the time.
All the time.
But for sure, Natasha's are always,
Yeah.
right?
You're the foot warmer in bed.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
We're expanding on this a lot because it's really important for the men out there to know that it's not fucking toxic to be a man. And the people who
No.
are saying that, they're just being fucking loud and obnoxious, and just shut them out.
Well, and like there's so much
I
behind
just
just trying to like feminize men.
think they're just,
And
yeah,
there's
regurgitating a talking point. Yeah.
there's so much like feminization of men and stuff like that. It really tries to take away from the guys like us that are out there trying to do stuff, or starting bonfires and picking shit up and putting it down, and
Yeah.
teaching our kids how to hunt and fish and play sports and stuff like that. And then there's like a whole like segment of women that are like, I want a blue collar guy, because I don't care if he's chubby and bearded. I want a blue collar guy because he's a man. He does manly shit. He's masculine.
Yeah.
And that, there's a whole segment of women that are just like, I can't find a man because I'm strong and independent and don't need no man. And then all of a sudden they're like, I can't find a man. Well, you were strong and independent and you didn't need no man. And now you're trying to find one, and
Well,
there's nobody there. Like
so
you can't have both. You can be an independent woman
yeah.
and provide and do things, be a single mom, because Lord knows there's plenty of them out there that are tearing it up. But you can still have, that masculine influence around and
Yeah.
be able to function and do everything just fine. It's just complementary, right?
Yeah. Well, the strongest women that I've ever met in my entire life, all of them. So they are very strong on their own, being an independent person, right? But they're also feminine
Hmm.
because us men, we don't know how to fucking be feminine. We don't know how to do certain things appropriately. Like we, if you were to have a conversation with us, we fuck around a lot, but we're also very direct, right? We don't do
Yeah,
the whole side sly kind of nice conversation to get our point across. We say things and it's fucking direct and it's fucking blunt. That is just
yeah,
how we do it because
To
and
a,
it
almost to a fault. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
it's not and the thing is we don't know how to communicate on that level because we don't read between the lines. If
Oh yeah.
fu-
Well, and
it
how
go ahead.
many
Dude,
times
I'm
have you
I'm
had that
way in
conversation with your wife or
I'm
girlfriend
way
or
in
whatever,
touch.
saying like, dude, I can't read your mind. Just tell me exactly what you want, because I'm gonna fail 100% of the time, every time, trying to read your mind. Just fucking tell me. I'll do whatever. Like, I'll make it better, or I'll just sit there and listen if you want me to listen, or just tell me
Yeah,
what you want.
like start off the conversation. Am I listening or am I solving?
Yeah.
That's where we got to start,
Yeah.
right?
Am I
That's
fixing or
yeah,
am I listening? Yeah.
good luck figuring that out. No,
well,
I'm super in touch with my feminine side. I was like my favorite class was totally the feminine side, and that's where you basically study from Cosmopolitan and the Playboy Advisor, right?
fucking God, killing me.
You
Oh
just bought it for the
fucking,
articles, right?
just
You
bought it for
just
the
bought it for the
articles.
articles.
Okay,
Yeah, just
okay.
bought them for the articles, and
Yeah,
then of
I
course
do.
and then Maxim came around and helped a
Yeah,
lot
it
with
was
that
like
too,
it's
right? I
like
mean,
it bridged the
that's
gap.
if you weren't, that
Yeah.
was standard reading on deployment, every Maxim magazine, you know.
Every
Every
part of me,
But
Tuesday.
every part of me just wants to be like good housekeeping.
Yeah.
Um,
Did we
Oh
just
my
become best
God.
friends?
I
do you want to
think,
go do kung fu in the garage?
right? Yes. No, so Cosmopolitan and the Playboy Advisor, man, and you get in touch with your feminine side. And I mean, God knows, I mean, I'm in touch with my feminine side. The Village People is what got me into the Navy. I was in the Navy for 16 years. I'm soft and sensual, bro.
On the inside.
Yeah,
On the inside.
yeah, that's yeah. Okay. Anyway, so speaking of being soft and sensual, what do you do for self care?
Ooh.
What's your go to?
For
How do you
s-
make sure that you can disconnect?
Yeah.
uh, a shower.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
All
No,
right.
So
just
you're
no literal self care for me as I love just doing walks with my puppies, man. I just literally spending time just decompressing, walking around. If you can call it decompressing when you got four dogs that want to do their own thing and run banshee bitch all over the place, and you get frustrated with that. That's a whole
well, you
different
forget
level,
about your
though.
problems, right?
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah,
dealing with their bullshit, so you forget
yeah.
about what you're pissed about.
I got the immediacy of what they're interested in and what's going on with them, and so it's just a good disconnect for me. It's always somewhere, we're over at I can't call it Pussy Park anymore because all the cats are gone, but the dogs still know it.
They still remember the smell.
They still
That's fucking
they
funny.
still remember. But whether it's Grandpa's fish pond, or if it's the power substation of the wild wetlands down below me here by the river, just getting them out, or we go running the utility trails out by the power substations out off of the west side of Utah. It's the Salt Lake Valley, I should say, I guess. But yeah, just self care for me is literally just getting out of the house and being out in some quote unquote fresh air if you can find it in the Salt Lake Valley, right? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Al, what about you? What's your self care thing? Your go
I
to?
think so. I like being alone sometimes,
Yeah.
because I got smaller kids, and you know,
Dad.
sometimes,
Dad. Dad.
yeah, a
Dad.
million questions
Dad.
all the time,
Dad.
yeah,
Dad.
and then wanting, and doing the projects and stuff like for the wife, stuff like she finds on Pinterest and stuff. That's cool or whatever. But sometimes you just need to like just go away, just by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the way I do that sometimes is just jumping in one of the old cars and just driving because, when you leave, they're always in good shape, but they're all like, 40 and 50 years old. So at some point, you could just be stranded on the highway, which I've been several times. And even though that's a possibility, just blasting down the road and those old things are loud. You can't even hear the freaking radio. And it's just fun, right?
Yeah.
You just smell gasoline and exhaust, and you come back smelling like a freaking uh just gas station, right?
Smell like a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're by yourself, right? So you're just alone in your thoughts. I like
I
that.
Yeah.
I think that's a common thread here because so Rye goes on, Doc goes on walks with his dogs by himself. You go do that. I go out and I'm either hunting or fishing. And my favorite time is actually when I'm out flying my Falcon.
Mhm.
Because it's literally you with nothing going on, just paying attention. So he's got, obviously GPS and shit on him. So you have your phone in your pocket. You can't look at your phone. You can't look at the fucking latest TikTok or the latest fucking email from whomever or whatever the fuck is going on because you're focused on what's happening with your bird, right? Or
As it flies away and you see your
I
GPS.
hope you get fucking I hope you fucking stub your fucking toe, and I hope you hit your knee,
I hope
and
one
you
day
have
that
to
bird,
fucking limp.
and I hope your razor catches fire, you fucking fuck.
I hope that bird shows up one day and just lands on your porch.
Dude, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And then flies the fuck
And
away.
then flies away again.
That's fine. At least I'll be like, leave the fucking GPS, you ass.
You can
But
just
you
see
know,
it dangling still.
just fucking for real. Anyway, so for me, going out and seeing that and being part of that hobby, that's my hobby. It's a very unique hobby that I do. Um, and spending like, those flights are, 40 minutes long, maybe. And really just kind of being connected to your surroundings in that aspect. That's my self-care. Uh, I I want to keep trying to think like, oh yeah, go and get in a back rub, or going and getting your beard trimmed or your hair done or whatever the fuck it is. To me, that's more of a fucking chore than anything. Because
Yeah,
if I had my
well, it's
way,
social too. It's very
yeah,
social.
yeah, if I had my way, I would just look fucking homeless all the time because I don't give a
Well,
shit.
and like the thing about it is too is like we're so connected, right? With the phones and the computers and all that stuff. So you have messages bouncing back and forth, and especially like with our crew, the Bearded Viking crew and everything. Like we're constantly sending information back and forth, or so we see something funny and send it back and forth. So like we're constantly, just dialing shit up all the time,
Yeah,
which is fun. But when you're in those different situations, you're taking the dogs for a walk, or you're driving the old car, or you're flying a freaking bird. Like it kind of gives you that disconnect too, where
yeah,
it's like for me, I'm like, if I look down and I'm trying to text while I'm driving this old fucking bucket, like I'm
you're,
gonna die. I'm
yeah,
gonna die. Like it's not
That
it's
makes
not
me
a
excited for my
self-driving
old
fucking
bucket.
car, And
yeah,
it's it's fun though, because you're constant, like you hit the gas too hard in that Challenger, dude, you're wrangling the beast. And so like for me, that's you're getting away. Like you're putting the phone down. You're not like
yeah,
there is no Bluetooth in my cars now. Like there's no Bluetooth radio. Fucking Challenger doesn't even have a radio, right? So it's just exhaust at 3,000 3,000 RPMs,
Nice.
yeah,
And the vet, it doesn't even turn up loud enough to give a damn unless you're at a stoplight. So it's just, you're getting away from the bullshit.
yeah,
And I love talking to you guys all, every day. But it's like sometimes you're just like, okay, technology's done. Like I
Yeah,
don't
you
want to
can.
fucking read emails. I just want to freaking
Well,
just
I mean,
disappear for a little bit.
we've gotten to the point now with the organization too, and just to kind of add on that, like where we eat, sleep, and breathe it. Like
Hmm.
I'm just waiting for our spouses and our partners just to be like, shut the fuck up. We know,
Oh,
right?
you guys blow the shit up out of my phone in the morning. Natasha's like, "Who the fuck is blowing up your phone?"
You're
It's
like,
I'm like,
JT.
"Oh,
It's my
probably
other
those
girlfriend,
guys like
JT.
I liked an image or I laughed at an image." I'm like, "God,
get
I
a
need to get."
fucking get
She's
a
like, "Get it,
fucking iPhone.
get a fucking." She's like, Can't they provide you guys a fucking iPhone so that you don't have to listen to all that?"
No,
Fuck.
we can't
Oh,
provide shit for anything.
We can't afford it.
We paid for the podcast to help out
fuck.
men in their mental health state
That's
and
fine.
provide
What?
an idea.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
We
use the iPhone. I wouldn't use the iPhone anyway. Just fucking using the
we
matching
don't
crap for this fucking thing
we
is
can't
enough.
even with you right
I
now.
can't even imagine
Yeah.
the fucking fucks that would come out of that.
Oh yeah.
I
You,
I 1,000%, like the second we can sell bottles of booze, company
buying him an
phone.
iPhone,
Yeah, we're
company
buying
phone.
you. We're gonna buy you like fucking 3 years ago iPhone. So maybe you
Yeah.
can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
No.
um
I will conveniently somehow or another as I'm taking a dookie, it drops in the toilet,
oh my
guaranteed.
Jesus Christ.
They're
Um
waterproof now, bro.
yeah, bro, they bounce too.
Only to like 10 meters.
How
How
far are
deep's
you
your
flushing
joy?
it?
That yeah,
Holy
what the
shit.
fuck, dude?
I mean, when we're talking Python and Anaconda, I'm
I,
half Korean. I'm
I
not talking about that thing. It's
oh
it's the
fucking
it's
god.
coming out of me.
It's so
Oh
deep.
fuck. It's so much. You mentioned being in your Challenger and cruising down the road with no phone and no radio, but I mean, have you guys ever been just like sitting there and you'd be like working out at the gym, or you'll be cruising to town, or you'll be doing something, and you have a certain playlist on, and then all of a sudden a song pops on and fucking reminds you and takes you back like in an instant to a time before. Have you ever had that happen to you?
Oh yeah, dude. I had that shit happen fucking the other day. Like, I had my sweet ass fucking like pump up music. It was mostly just like stupid ass, just go. You
Scream
just
music.
rock shit. Yeah, just just and then Justin Moore, the ones that didn't make it back home, pops up.
Heck.
And it's literally talking about a mom excited that her son's gonna be home, cooking grandma's recipe of like green bean casserole, and then two uniforms show up at the door to tell her that her son got killed.
You're
Right
probably in the
before
middle of like a fucking set of
I'm
deadlifting.
like bench pressing shit. I'm trying to do like put in work, get swole. And I'm like, what the fuck? Really? I'm like gonna start crying before I finish
Yeah.
the fucking set because it's just like one of those really freaking emotional songs, right? And you're in there trying to fucking just pump up some toxic masculinity, and you're just like, "Fuck you, Justin Moore. Why the fuck did you do this to us?" But the song is so relevant, right? Because
Oh,
we all lost buddies,
yeah.
and you never wanted to be that guy that was on the detail going to
Oh,
tell your
fuck
buddy's wife or
that.
tell your buddy's mom that he didn't make it and he's not coming home. And
Yeah.
that was kind of like one of those mental health things where it's like I couldn't skip the song,
Yeah.
right? But I
So
finished listening to the song and just kind of pushed it out, right? Like you'd push out those last couple of reps, and I just kind of thought about it. And then like magically my playlist went back to just all the freaking, you know, Marilyn Manson and all the crazy shit that just kind of gets you hyped and, you know, screaming and
this
shit.
the
But
song
it
that does
was
that. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was just like a weird coincidence, and just YouTube kind of fucked me up there for a minute. But
I have one that happens all the time to me, and it pisses me off when it happens because it's such a good song and it brings back so many good memories. But they're also like it's super emotional, right? So I'll be fucking listening to like Tyler Childers, my Red Dirt Radio, and all of a sudden something will happen, and Jameson Rogers will come on with Good Dogs, and all
oh
I
yeah,
fucking think about is Monty, right? And what he did for me and how he saved my life. And it's like fucking I stop. I'm done at that point. Whatever I'm
Yeah.
doing, I'm done. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we're crying now. Cool.
yeah,
Let's just
we're
get
just
this. We're
gonna
gonna just get this
we're
hard
gonna
sob
get it out.
out. Just gonna let it go. And it's just one of those things where it's just always it's like it catches you almost like, and it's maybe even a paranormal thing to me because it catches you probably when you don't know that you need it, but you needed it.
Mm.
Right, I could see that. Yeah,
Right, where
and
you're in the
it's like
middle of like some anxiety or depression, and then you fucking just need to cry. And
yeah,
like we don't talk about crying as men because it's not what men do in front of each other or whatnot.
I fully like in those situations too, like you've lost your flask. Like you can't find your flask because if you take a shot of it, you're not going to break down like a little girl.
Yeah, always.
It's just like when Gunny died, it turned me into a 7-year-old little girl, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know I'm crying anymore. I'm
Yeah,
dehydrated. Like, but fuck, dude, the dog was with me for 13 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
just fucking dogs, same thing. Like you're saying, that song just freaking just
It's
triggers that fucking boob response.
it's a moment. I think it happens to you just kind of like the Tommy knockers do when they're trying to save you from something. And I think really what it is, and it's just weird because it's just a stupid fucking algorithm inside of whatever fucking music you're
Yeah,
listening to, right? It doesn't make sense at all, but it pops on, and all of a sudden, now like you have let out whatever anxiety or depression that's inside of you. You've just vocalized it, and you can't fucking stop wiping fucking tears away from your face.
yeah.
And I'll be the first to admit, like as I get older, like I'm more emotional these days because like I actually really sit down and I take the time to feel when things hit. It's a fucking weird thing, and I don't get it. But at the same time, too, I feel like, that toxic masculinity that I own is that's part of it, right? We keep it, and we only cry to ourselves because like you're looked at by your best friends or whoever as a fucking bitch if
Oh
you
yeah,
if you break down. But don't
yeah.
fuck them.
100%. Yeah, it's crazy. Have you had something weird like that happen to you, Ryan?
Not quite like that. I think the moments for me that are like that are s- I find myself, I like to. I like to watch a lot of different things for shows, but most of them are dark, dark comedies or violence and this and that, and so the step outs for me that I really enjoy are and people might make fun of me for this, but uh recently, because American Idol's in like its 21st year of stupidity, which I found interesting.
It's his guilty
But
pleasure.
it totally is for me because you know you watch so many things on Netflix or TV or stuff that's kind of dark or twisted and whatnot, and the American Idol thing for me, I don't mind getting teary eyed with American Idol here and there because I really love the stories that come out of American Idol with people, and I think the biggest thing that it pulls out for me is that people have all this hope, right? Hope, perseverance, and the fortitude to push on through adversity for a lot of those people that are trying to follow their dreams and do what's important to them. So I really enjoy that. I haven't really, like, if you want to talk about the dog thing and balls, balls of fluid coming out your eyeballs, my I did that same idea with my dog Hades when he died. I think Jordan and I drank like an entire fucking fifth of whiskey out in the desert when we were burying him,
Yeah.
and probably one of my favorite movies literally had me in tears the whole time watching it. It was called The Dog's Purpose. I don't know if you've ever
Oh,
seen that.
fuck
No,
that movie,
no,
dude.
Oh,
I can't,
Fuck
dude.
that movie all the
No,
way off.
no
but
fucking way, man.
but the message of it is
Oh, it's
I
perfect.
fucking yeah, it's perfect. I loved it. It was like this whole, there's a dog's purpose, and
Yeah.
what the dog's purpose was for you is one thing, and what the dog's purpose was for JT was, literally saving his life, and I think that's what dogs do for most everybody. It saves their life in some way, and whether it's, you know, truly being the best friend that dogs are known and have the reputation to be, right?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think for the most part, I don't necessarily have like out of the blue something like I needed to change my mind or my attitude, or say for that one time where I was like, totally into Disturbed and feeling angry and having road rage, and I was probably ready to murder someone, and then all of a sudden, Air Supply comes into my head, like,
I'm all out of
you're
love.
all out of love. I'm
I'm
so
lost
lost
without you.
without you.
Yeah,
Don't
fuck,
kill
dude.
that fucking guy 'cause he cut off your ball sack. Something like, so
Whatever. Yeah, I get that. I
Whatever
get
that
that.
line is.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
So I have
Obviously.
so I have a funny story with that movie, A Dog's Purpose. Justine's like, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. So I sat down and I knew exactly what the fuck was gonna happen, and I sat down and I watched it with her, and it came to like that point, and she starts crying, and the only thing that I could do to not cry was deflect and make fun of her for crying. So, but really, I was like,
are
"Oh
you
God,
fucking crying right now?
Why
fuck
are you
you,
fucking crying?
dogs."
Why are
Yeah.
Yeah.
you wearing your
So
sunglasses while you're watching the
yes,
movie?
It's fucking dumb.
1000%. Yeah. So my dumb ass, I was deflecting. I was like, "You fucking crying? Oh my gosh, you pussy!" And
Yeah,
she's like, "Shut
Yeah.
up, it's an emotional movie." And I'm like, "Haha, whatever."
yeah,
God. You know.
Dude.
yeah.
So speaking of movies, right? So I texted Al about this last night, because I get this fucking random 1 o'clock in the morning fucking message on Instagram, like, "Have you seen this fucking shit?" Which is, Tucker Carlson talking about aliens and TBIs and troops, foreshadowing. Um,
Dun dun dun.
and I'm like, bro, I can't even think about watching that right now because I just got done watching the movie The Whale with Brandon Fraser.
Oh right, yeah, yeah.
And I tell you what, guys, like, that movie is the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hmm.
I
Uh,
mean,
don't watch it. Don't watch it if you think that it's going to be funny, and don't watch it if you think it's going to be violent. It is absolutely a tear jerking. I'm a dad, and I've dealt with some shit, and it hit so home with me last night, dude. I was crying. My daughter was crying. We hugged some shit out. We talked about some shit, and then at the end of all of that, I couldn't even sleep. My mind was fucking racing at 1,000 miles a minute, just trying to rehash everything that was going on. Walked outside, had a cigarette, came inside. I was like, I don't know what to fucking do right now. I don't want to drink because like I'm just like next level. And eventually I fell asleep, but like I'll probably watch that movie once a year now,
Hmm.
just to make sure that I'm centered in my life.
I just read the plot. I get it. I get it now. I didn't know what the plot was. I just knew that there was a lot of clout behind it, and everybody was really excited about it. But I get that now.
Yeah. So Brandon Fraser, by the way,
Yeah, the
what a
dude's.
fucking comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude, he never left, right? Everybody always knew that he was there.
Well,
The dude's a fucking. He's a
Hollywood
beast.
did fucking Hollywood things where they fucking shunned him for being wholesome.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
them.
yeah. Fuck all of them. I'll sit there and watch a fucking Brendan Fraser movie marathon all
Yeah.
goddamn day.
Encino Man, I'll watch that shit just
Oh,
because of him.
Tarzan.
Blast from the
Yeah.
past.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Blast from
Me
the
love Jane.
past.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Blast from the past. Fucking The Walk-In. Fucking
Oh
Heated Up
yeah.
Dr. Pepper. Solid.
Yeah.
I fucking know all about that shit. The Mummy, 1, 2, and I think
Yeah.
3, maybe.
And three.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
and 3.
watch three again. It wasn't bad. They
I
just kind of
mean,
changed. They
it
changed
was,
everybody, but like Brendan Fraser. But like, I mean, he
dude,
carried the show anyway. The
yeah.
dude is a monster.
The wife in that, the first 2. Solid.
Evie. Yeah.
Evie.
What's her? I
Yeah.
forget what her real name is,
I
but
don't even.
I
total
don't know.
smoke show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Smoke show. So speaking on that note too. So I just mentioned Tucker Carlson. Can't even talk in a private interview, right? So in
Yeah.
the same interview, before we start, in the same interview, he talks about how he was on Signal, the app,
hmm
and he was talking to somebody about the connection between the current legislation and leadership of the country, and we're not going to go down the political side of this. And somebody else, and he was going to talk about exposing their connections with other parts of the world. That's the end of what we're going to talk about with that, right? And he got a phone call from the FBI and the CIA.
Off a Signal.
Office
Wow.
Signal. Yeah.
I thought Signal was supposed to be secure, man. What happened?
Woo, woo.
CIA. It's owned by
Yeah.
the CIA.
Nothing's secure. Yeah.
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 It's
I
owned by
thought
the
I thought
CIA.
I thought that was just like the thing to try and get you to stop using it, was saying that it was owned by the CIA, but I guess it's true.
It's true, right? So, conspiracy theory confirmed at this point, right?
hmm
So, on the same interview though, he like literally opens up now. So I'm not really a big Tucker Carlson follower because I just don't fucking get behind most of the
I
news
used to
networks.
be. Yeah, I used
Yeah,
to be, and he
it
got.
just it is what it is. So he has a thing where he's like basically offline, right? And he's not really in the Fox News studio, and he's just talking, and he's being interviewed externally by an external source. And in that, he's like, "Hey, did you guys know that currently there are over 100 active cases filed against the DoD for soldiers experiencing encounters with aliens or their spouses battling for experiences with these
Their claims, their VA
their claims,
claims
the VA
for
claims
TBI.
for TBI. Al, you did a lot of fucking like kind of research on that. Why don't you like talk about that
So
piece?
the crazy thing about it was there is a like prominent story that like all like these ufologists and stuff like that talk about,
I
and
want to
it's
be a
like,
ufologist.
and right, me too. It's like being an ancient astronaut theorist. But it's in it's in what is it, Randallstein Forest in the UK, and there's a UFO that lands. There's like a crew that goes out and looks at it. One guy touches it and sees like ones and zeros, and the other guy gets like blown back and knocked on his ass and is out cold. And they both have like these totally separate experiences. And then I think one got like severe cancer and ended up beating the cancer. But once they realized that the ones and zeros were like code, like computer code, there was like an encoded message in these ones and zeros. Like he did like the whole reverse the uh hypnotism, um
Hmm.
and the regression therapy or whatever. And they like went back and he like spouted out the code and everything and like saw all kinds of hieroglyphics and stuff like that, but it messed up his head. Like he had essentially a TBI off of that because his ears were ringing. gets severe migraines and stuff like that. Both of them do. And then now we see that freaking interview with Tucker Carlson, and he's talking about how all these VA claims are getting denied from the VA because these veterans have, anywhere from moderate to severe TBIs
Or dead.
and
Or dead.
or dead,
Unalive.
and they went up and touched a UFO, or they went up next to a UFO. Now, I'm not speculating whether it's, absolutely an alien ship or whether it's one of ours or something like that, but it was landings at our bases or around our bases, and the service, men and women are going up and getting tore up, getting bad TBIs or dying, and their families can't get the claims put through because everything's off book.
So interesting here, real quick, right? So just a real quick Google search on DuckDuckGo of UFO and veteran affairs claims. First thing that pops up is the Pentagon's new UFO office has a specific job dated November 24th, 2021.
Oh, it's recent.
Followed by Air Force veteran awarded full disability for UFO exposure from popularmilitary.com, March 6, 2015.
Wow.
Apparently, by the way, it is Senator John McCain was awarded the UFO exposure. R.I.P.
Senator
Before
what?
Before he passed, you mean? Or?
Yeah, John McCain. Or McCain, not McCain.
McCain.
Not
John
McCain.
McClane.
Yeah.
When
John
he fell off
McClane.
the tower?
Wait, did it blow, did the
Nakatomi?
tower blow up?
Nakatomi?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
You mean
No,
that movie
John
that's
McCain.
not a Christmas movie?
It's totally a Christmas movie. Shut the fuck up. We're
How
going down
the
the path
fuck?
again.
So they're saying
Welcome
that
to
guy got a
another one.
UFO.
Exposure award.
What?
Right?
Anyway. Yeah, I don't like that guy. I think that guy's a piece of shit, but anyway.
Which guy? John McClane?
No, he was cool. But yeah, no, it's a real thing though.
Yeah.
Like the VA is having to take care of these claims, and I guarantee it's like some GS5, GS6 claims processor, and they're like, huh, this guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Denied, sent off,
Yeah.
But it's fucking crazy, especially now that you just went on DuckDuckGo and did a duck search and it popped up. Yeah, 2001, 2015, like all this shit.
2021.
And, 2021. Sorry, 2021.
So even closer, yeah.
The one thing was 2015 that you said.
Yeah, that was the McCain thing before he.
Yeah,
he was probably unalived because of that.
I would like to know more about that one because he was a POW, and it said that he got shot down.
Yeah, there's a whole lot to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I don't think we have enough time to unpack that.
We definitely don't. I'm gonna have to unpack that one by myself and give an update. But the fact is, like, it's a thing, right? So this and I don't watch much mainstream news, but I've always appreciated like Tucker Carlson's approach because he always seemed super fact based, and still he always has, and I think he always will be. And I mean, it won't surprise me if somebody unalives him
soon.
because he's sniffing so close. Like, I hope to God that guy has an awesome fucking private security, right? Like, I hope they're like Israeli fucking commandos.
He has to be.
Oh, dude, and I love that. Like, he's condescending as shit, and that's what makes it funny because you can actually watch his show, absorb all the facts, and giggle a little bit because he's just plastering somebody.
Yeah, I know for sure.
But that's what caught my attention the most was that he was the one who brought that up in that interview.
Oh yeah.
And I hadn't even gone as far as doing the search, just broad like you did. Mine was more just like the specific stuff. And so that's even crazier that shit is out there. Like, it's a legit thing.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? So they declassified UFOs in 2020, right, during the pandemic, and I really think that was a ploy to fucking help people fucking look at something new while they're, the world is fucking buried in their Pornhub, which is
Project
fine,
Bluebeam.
whatever. Right. Well, there's also that too. Their preference, right? At the same time, you know that NASA spends like $700 million a day or a month, probably a month, taking photos of the rest of the world or the rest of the galaxies, and 2 months ago, NASA videoed some sort of object that was literally pulling plasma from the sun, a giant ball the size
Yeah,
of
that was
the
a
moon.
while back. Like I think there's been several of those different situations where it like flies in and they have it in like an ultraviolet spectrum
Right, and
and then
it's literally
and it
pulling.
snaps off and it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally, you can literally watch it draw from the plasma of the sun. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, why is that? And then all of a sudden, so we're going down this path, right? So 2019, Space Force is created. Why was Space Force created all of a sudden, right?
I don't know, but it's going to become the United Federation of Planets, and there's going to be a spaceship called USS Enterprise. I'm just saying.
Ooh,
No.
I'm just sad I'll be too old to
Star
get on
Trek's
it.
stupid.
Me too. I'm super
I
pissed
would
that
be
I'll
super.
never be the captain of a
Yeah.
spaceship.
Star Trek's stupid. Stop it.
You're dumb.
Whoa.
I said what I
Whoa.
said. Go Star Wars.
What?
Well, can't you have both?
Well, yeah, that one was in a galaxy far, far away. So,
That's
Yeah.
I
fine.
mean,
Yeah, lightsabers.
And how
Did
do
you
you
guys?
think? How do you think they fucking got there? They got there on the USS Enterprise.
yeah,
No,
Nobody populated
nope,
Tatooine without
nope,
help, bro.
it did.
nope. We're not
We
doing
didn't
this.
just sprout there.
Yeah,
No,
they had to get there somehow.
no,
Yeah.
bro. It was the Millennium Falcon and Elvis
You know what?
Presley.
You know what my biggest gripe is with Star Wars, and I like Star Wars just fine, right? But I'm totally
Is that Princess Leia
I'm
lost
totally
the
tripping.
buns after a while? The buns, man, that made
The
this
the
whole
buns
show.
the buns were hot, but it's not that. It's like you're in a Jedi lightsaber fight, and you have like these fucking amazing Jedi powers, right? And you don't think to just turn the other dude's lightsaber off and stab him with turn it off with the Force and then stab him. Fucking battle's over.
That's an
I'm sorry,
understanding that
but
common
why do
sense
you,
is a common virtue. Come on.
but why do you
I mean,
even need a
so are they not
lightsaber in the
these
first place?
Why don't you need a
trained
lightsaber?
fucking kung fu lightsaber masters?
If
And you
you
can't think, oh, let me just hit the power button or unscrew the bottom so his fucking crystal falls out, and then like really, come on.
see, no, I'm of the belief that it's the Jedi that are actually at the sun pulling plasma off, and they don't need a lightsaber, so that they can just do it like put their hand out, boom, plasma shot. I
I
don't
wish
understand the whole
I
why.
wish that you
That's
could
my
go up to
problem
the
with Star
sun
Wars.
and pull some of the sun's energy off so your fucking radio doesn't die the next time we go
Yeah,
hunting.
facts, dude. And I
So
believe
I was actually gonna
there's
I was gonna segue to that earlier, but you guys talk too much. But where you're like, what's a peaceful moment? I'm like, oh, I remember this one time when I was on a mountainside and my, I was disconnected from all the electronic devices that I
No
had in and
radios.
about my pack, and I was watching these Mises fuck, and oh, it was just a beautiful time in my life, and then all of a sudden I'm hearing this. I'm all out of love. Where's Doc? Where's Doc?
Yeah, we
so
were about to come find you,
yeah,
dude.
we were coming to find you,
I mean,
bro.
all you had
But I
was
will.
like
But I
Nobody
will
fucks with
3
Doc.
ensure.
rounds in a 30-06 and
I
6
will.
rounds of 45.
Yeah,
I will
nobody fucks
ensure
with
that the
Doc.
next time that we go out into the hills, that I will have a plasma pack on me for
You
just
fucking
that
better.
reason.
I swear to God, I'm gonna stuff a second radio in there that you can only use. Break glass in case of emergencies, bitch.
Yes. And
You just say to have to sew it into the bottom where I won't even know, and I'll just hear this.
Boop.
radio check.
Oh
I
Jesus!
even tried to hit the
They're
emergency button.
skinwalkers.
You know how it
Yeah,
does
yeah.
like the alarm and shit to
Yeah.
all the radios that it's attached to? I was like, fuck it. I don't care if he's buying any elk. It's getting dark. And I hit the thing, and both of our radios start freaking going like alarmy and shit. And nothing. Nothing.
So
Not even the marshals came to help.
Not even a thing.
not a damn thing. In honor of St. Patty's Day. Question Q&A round. Q&A round.
Lightning round.
All right. We talked about this before.
I'll take weird and funny shit for 1,000, Alex.
Okay then. Sounds good.
Okay.
Are
Jumping
leprechauns
right in.
real? Are leprechauns real? Al, go.
I think they probably are.
Okay.
I will take the sentiment that they're probably Fae.
Okay.
Hmm.
Brad.
No.
No. Okay.
I'm gonna say no.
Hard no.
That's I mean, anything's plausible, right?
Oh, fucking, here we go again.
Oh, you fucking went
Jesus.
back
Fucking,
to it.
oh, we are. Here we are.
And
Show's
we're
back
back.
up. I don't think anything's plausible.
What
I don't
an
think
asshole.
anything's plausible.
You're welcome.
At least he's consistent.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say leprechauns themselves, no. But as the Fae, yes.
See, I think they're probably real. They're probably just like an overgrown fairy. It's like a fat fairy.
I think they're like goblins.
Yeah, probably like a goblin. Yeah.
There's a whole
Yeah.
there's a whole state park here for that.
Oh yeah.
Goblin Valley.
Goblinville.
Yeah.
Goblin Valley. And it's not just for never mind, I'm not gonna go there. Oh. You'll get a whole bunch of fucking
We'll
of
get
hate
super
mail.
canceled.
Thanks, dog.
Super
You never,
canceled.
Doc
You are
_ BBMC.
you are not coming back.
Okay,
Uh,
so since it's a lightning round,
Go.
are mermaids real? Doc.
Yes. Ariel is a thing. She's the most beautiful thing underneath the sea.
This motherfucker.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
All right, JT. What's your
Absolutely. And they're fucking demons.
Like
I feel
water
like
demons?
they fucking literally take sailors down and drowned. It's
Nope.
documented
They
on
are fucking beautiful, amazing shaped redheads.
yeah, something like that. They eat the souls, so obviously
As
it
long
makes
as they
sense.
shave their armpits.
Dude, she could
Yeah.
totally eat my soul. I would be super happy. If I got my soul eaten by Ariel, I'd be like, oh, I can die happy.
I don't feel
I
like
don't-
you're actually talking about your soul right now.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that's a
That's like a double
starfish. I think that's a
Maybe
that's a
my-
starfish.
It's a starfish.
My soul in
This is
South
definitely
Kor-
starfish.
myself, yeah, my soul
See,
in
see
South
what you have
Korea.
to know about me is
Yeah.
my soul is on my.
Anyway, okay, yeah. So I think because it was documented on multiple continents, multiple languages,
It's like the
real.
charts.
yeah, documented.
Okay.
You?
Mm.
I'm gonna have to say that there's probably something out there that is not gonna turn into something with two legs when it touches land, but there's so much history and so many stories about it. I'm gonna say that it's plausible that there's something
Yeah.
out there. that
P
there's
word.
something out there,
Just fucking dropping the P word
and
left and right.
they're probably terrifying. But as I said before, I think that they're different than sirens.
Mm.
Maybe. I don't know, because it's sirens are hot young women that are out there singing songs to sailors, which could actually, after being on a ship, could be any woman.
Yeah.
At all,
If you've been on ship long enough, yeah.
Anything.
Everybody's asking
I
permission
think it
to
could
cross
be
the
even
patio,
something
daddy-o.
like that has dreads and facial hair.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, look how attractive
Just
that is.
singing the song of his people.
It's the song of the heartland. The only place I feel at home. Thank you.
That'll do.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest boat that you were on, Doc?
The biggest boat that I was on?
Yeah, let's go.
I was in the Navy for 16 years and I've only been on a ship that's been like a museum. Save for an
what?
LCAC. I was on an LCAC. That's it.
Do I own
LCAC.
Do I own the crown this time?
I think, yeah.
I don't know. Which one were you on?
The LHD2 Essex and the LHD2 Bonham Richard, which is the second largest type of ship.
The Bonham Richard. Bonham Richard is the one that freaking caught on fire not too long ago, right?
Thank fucking God.
Yeah,
it
there was
burnt
a lot
to the
of people
fucking
that
ground.
were like, praise Jesus when that one
Fuck
fucking
that
burned down.
ship. We were on ship and we were doing Operation Rimpack in Hawaii, and that motherfucker the engine room caught on fire and listed fucking 5 degrees.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that thing needed to be caught on fire for a long time.
Yeah, I'm just glad nobody died.
I was on that ship, but I was not on that ship while it was underway.
So I own the current.
You do, but I
crown.
guarantee you I own the sketchiest overseas journey while in the Marine Corps, while on HSV. Between Okinawa and Korea. That shit was fucked up.
Fair. We will have to talk about that, but for the moment, we actually, Doc, I have a question for you.
Sounds ominous.
It does. It's very pointed.
Oh my God! God help us! Shades are coming off.
Oh shit! It's bright.
It's fucking bright, man.
Wow.
Let's see the whites of your eyes, Ryan.
Oh,
I want to see the whites of your eyes.
What if they're like totally bloodshot from all the gummies I took?
Well, then put your regular glasses back on so we can see that. So you're good there.
We just wanted to see the Korean in you.
Yeah.
Korean in me. I'm only half Korean from the waist down.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We'll see that later.
What's your thoughts on, well, first off, before we get into this, so we got Ryan's rants that happen often.
I was gonna say not
Often
everybody
they
wants
do.
to hear Ryan's thoughts, man.
I mean,
Often.
so would you say that you were an avid recycler, or would you say that you just kind of don't give a shit?
So I like to go fishing every day, and I'm gonna throw out this line,
And
and here he is.
all right, so Doc, we're gonna incorporate you probably once every 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see how it goes. We have a couple
That's
other people from the company that want to do it, but
that's probably all people can tolerate of me, anyhow.
dude, it's
I can't wait.
Not,
I can't wait until your Instagram hate mail starts flying.
I cannot wait.
Dude, I'm so excited to have any other than like all of the hoes on Instagram that keep fucking following me. Like,
those are
Right.
bots.
I keep getting all these messages about, oh yeah, Gina Jones is fucking following you. I'm like, well, who the fuck is Gina Jones? And I click on, I'm like, oh, that's
another
probably some leprechaun in fucking Ireland that looks amazing. He's got amazing tits, that leprechaun. Holy God.
one. This is what I said. Like when we first started doing this, everything that happened on Instagram was just like some crazy bot follower or some shit like that.
So here's the thing for me. I want to have followers, right? Like, who doesn't want to have followers? Like, not everybody can be fucking JT Koresh, but
Right.
I want to feel liked and feel loved. I mean, where's my self-care? I got to have hobbies and stuff, and
Yeah.
people fucking loving me and whatnot. But then I look at them like, wait, this is just like K Street. Like,
Yeah.
I have to pay for my friends. Like,
Right. It's like
it's like the glory
some-
hole all over again.
There's like some little Indian dude in India that's sending you a friend request with a chick's picture.
You know what? Here's my thing with the bots. I'm like, I am offended by bots because that literally takes the job away from someone in India or Pakistan or some kid in Malaysia. Like, do not take jobs from people. This whole automation bullshit takes jobs from people. I get it. I mean,
So do you go through the self-checkout line at Walmart?
100%.
Do you?
Every fucking time.
But you literally just said that you hate it when people
No.
take jobs from other people.
That's not taking a job from someone.
We're not doing a Ryan rant. You ever seen somebody bite their tongue so quick?
It's so hard.
How hard? Does it hurt? You got a little bit of pain there?
He's bleeding.
He's actually bleeding,
No.
guys.
I have a tongue that has been bitten so many times. It's fucking. It's all
look,
it is scar tissue.
Just start fucking writing down your rants.
Don't
post them on Facebook.
It won't be
For the
right
record,
if he writes it.
you're
down.
right.
He'll have
It
to
is-
video him.
It's a little conflicting. I totally understand what you're saying, but the self-checkout thing was absolutely the best, most efficient thing ever invented in the last
At
5
Walmart.
years.
At Walmart.
Anywhere.
Not
Like,
at Walmart.
you know what? I'll say definitely for certain at Walmart, because you
They
never
only
know
have
when,
two
when
checkers anyway.
Look, you're going to go to Walmart one day, and you're going to be at a Walmart in said town in Montana, and you're going to be a recycle guy. Let's say you're a recycle guy, and you go to just some little Walmart in Montana, and you're rolling through the line, and some chick decides that you need only two. You have a basket full of fucking shit. A basket full. And she's putting 2 items. You know what? I'm not a fisherman, and I'm glad you are, you fucking fuck. But I'm going to finish this one regardless.
It's a rant, folks.
Yeah.
It happened.
So here we are in Montana, and I'm going to even drop the fucking town. We're in Laurel,
Cheers.
Montana. God, cheers. And I'm sitting here. I like recycling. I recycle cans. I recycle plastic. I take plastic bags back to the grocery store
He
because
takes
they'll recycle
cans
them.
home with him from my house because
I will
it's
take-
not recycling.
You know what? It is not wrong. I was actually at Alex's house the other night, and I was saying, hey, and we shared a beer together. And I took my beer with me because I knew that fucking guy won't take the effort to put it in a recycle can because they don't come to his fucking driveway.
No, we don't have any, man.
It's more like they just go to the same place. But I mean, whatever.
No. Okay, that argument. I'm sorry. You're fish. God. Here I am being gullible. Wait.
I just got 2 words. You guys ready for this? Got him.
Well,
Gotcha, you fucking fuck.
let me finish my Walmart story. So she's putting 2 items per bag and a whole basket full of shit, right? We're having groceries for the week, and some fucking guys from the Bearded Viking Mead Company are coming up, and we're having a barbecue and shit. So there's a lot of food products being purchased, and she's putting 2 items per bag, and so it's just this stupid little fucking carousel thing. So I start rebagging it all, and finally she like puts she puts her fucking hand on it, and she's like, "You gotta stop." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
16-year-old girl.
Yeah, like totally puts me in my place and tells me to fucking knock it off.
Listen, Grandpa.
Yeah,
I'm bagging
like,
the groceries.
You gotta
there.
stop. And I'm like, okay, but you're putting 2 items per bag away, and all these bags are just gonna end up in a landfill somewhere and be a part of the new economy and the fucking environment. Like, I'm just trying to save bags. And this other lady in a whole nother line, right? She's like, "Oh God, not another one."
California.
I'm like, what? Holy fucking God. And that's what, and I even said that to her. I'm like, this is Montana. This is God's country. I'm just trying to preserve God's country, do my part to do my best to preserve God's country. And here the fuck I am, just being another one. Oh my God.
Oh, there's another California. Fire groceries.
I grew up in California. I'm sorry, but I'm not a Californian. I just want fucking plastic to go back to being plastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a Ryan rant.
Ryan's rants.
Sometimes when you go fishing for the fish, they just jump in the fucking boat.
Sometimes you don't even have to put bait on the hook. They just
not a damn
You know what?
thing.
I'm gonna slap you in the fucking face like those videos that they fucking just come.
I just want to let you know. Got him again.
Better make sure that you have your tortillas out.
Oh, gentlemen. Oh, I got
welcome.
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. It only took you did a great job. I'm going to
It
applaud
only
you for
took an
all
hour
of the
and
other
45 minutes.
Yep. All right, gents.
I tried not to do one. I did, but there it was.
It happened. It was organic as fuck.
The
It
name
was
of
the
this
most-
episode is Ryan's Rants.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, guys, we do have to close out, so I'd like to put a huge shout out to our sponsors as always, Rogue Industries for all the apparel they put together for us, Boss Graphic Design for designing all the cool shit we wear, and the Bearded Viking Mead Company for allowing us to be jackasses in front of you all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
I am Vico, the Bearded One. You can call me JT.
I'm the Jarl. Stay weird, beardos.
I'm Doc. Thanks for having me. Good to be here. Rant
Cheers.
on, motherfuckers.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
Cheers. It's fantastic.
That was
Fucking great. That was a lot of fun. Oh my god.
Got him.